Well, hello and welcome back. My name is Holiday Doc, and I want to thank you for tuning in today. We've got a commentary headed your way, kind of pick the brains of, the viewers, the players. I just want to get some general feedback so I can push forward with a couple great ideas that have been tossed at me here in the last couple weeks. If you haven't really followed me on Twitter, you probably should do that because I like to poke around and see kind of what everybody's doing, kind of keep up to date, as well as we do lots of cool stuff on Twitter. I've teamed up with You Mad Gear. We've been giving away a lot of t-shirts, a lot of hoodies, apparel, great custom design stuff. And, I can't thank them enough. You Mad Gear supports the community more than any other, small company out there. They are really behind, and I shouldn't say they, it's got to be, the main guy behind it, but them as a whole, just help everybody out so much, and I can't thank them enough. But you guys probably want to know a little bit about the gameplay. We've got Team OpTic up against a French team from the UK, I believe. I could be wrong, so don't quote me, but I did post on Twitter. I asked if this was a UK station team, and I did get the big thumbs up yes. So they are Epsylon from the UK side of things, and I think we're playing Seatown today because of a change-up or just something new. Got a little boring, repetitive, playing the same old. Everybody starts at dome, finishes at the bottom, and just rinse, repeat, CTF scrims all day, every day. So I figure, I'm going to post this one. It's new, it's fresh, something we don't usually get here, as well as I've been slacking heavily on the videos, but that's not my fault. Well, not totally, at least. A lot of teams took a hiatus there for a couple weeks, almost 3 weeks. I didn't really hear or see a whole lot of teams kind of push forward, but now we've got OpTic back in the swing of things, getting prepared for that Frag Cup, and I'm excited because OpTic, to be quite frank, is on fucking fire. They've been doing phenomenal in team scrims, really putting up big numbers, and their plays and everything that they do seem much more solid than we've seen in a couple past matches. I know it's got a little sloppy, and they've brought it back together, and it's great to see. So what am I here talking about today? Well, I mentioned You Mad Gear already. These guys and myself, we want to do something for the community. We want to give the AM players, the AM teams, because that's like 90% of the community is AM teams trying to make it big and get to the pro status. But, there's not a whole lot to play for right now. Yes, there is a Frag Cup, but after the Frag Cup, what are we prepping for? So we were thinking, You Mad Gear, myself, Midget King, kind of got our thoughts thrown together. We're like, what can we do? We want to do something big. We don't want no $100 tournaments. $100 is great and fancy, but we want something for these teams to really play for. Something for them to strive at. Something to make them practice day in and out and really get something paid. Gamers that put this much effort into things, they need to get paid. They deserve to get paid. So let's try to give them a top payout tournament. And we were thinking of ideas. We know that people and teams, the budgets are tight. Not a lot of teams can really afford the big entry fees. So what can we do? This is where the picking of your guys' brains kind of comes into the commentary here. We were thinking, what is the minimum a team is kind of looking to pay? As a whole team entry, what is the ideal pay-in? And we're talking 100% payout. We're not here to make money off of it. We're not here to try and scam anybody out of, buy-ins or entry fees. None of that. You can guarantee 100% of what the gamers are going to put in, the gamers are going to get back out. So I had a couple ideas. You Mad Gear had a couple ideas. And we're going to toss it all together. And we're going to throw it at you guys in a later one. But I wanted to get your guys' initial feedback. If we do a $10 entry fee for tournaments, or for a tournament, do you guys think that we could get, 50, 60 teams signed up? Would that be feasible? Is $10 asking a little too much, or is it not enough? What about a $50 buy-in for a full team? Do you think we'll get less teams? Basically you're paying, $13.25 a piece on a 4-man team. Should we do $40, $10 a piece? I don't know. I haven't been a team or been in a competitive team for a while. I don't know what kind of payouts people are looking for. I know everybody likes to see free entry stuff, but for free entry tournaments, you're only going to see like a max $100 payout, maybe 150, 200. And even then, like, is that worth it for a 10, 12-hour day? To me, it doesn't really seem that way. I want to get to the big bucks. I want to do, smaller entry fees, but big payouts. And I need your guys' help as the AM team communities to kind of come together and let us know what dollar amount is right. Are we going too little? Are we going too much? Let us know. That's what I want to know. And if we could do this, another kind of idea was to kind of pool a portion of all these, or do a couple smaller tournaments. Try to get 50, 60 teams at the the $10 to $50 range, and we take like 30% of that pool of the money, and we put it into like a big tournament at the end, and we try to get like a 5 or a 10K event going. I think that would be phenomenal. I would have a blast commentating that stuff, because we'd see all these AM teams come out of the woodwork. We'd see some UK teams and just all come together. I think it would be phenomenal. I would have a ton of fun commentating again, and it's been a while since I've been able to do the shoutcasting on Modern Warfare 3. There really hasn't been an event, so let's try and make an event. What works for you guys? Let me know, please, with a comment down below, or better yet, include myself and at @UMadGear. I'll put our Twitters on the thing right now. Include us in a tweet. Let us know what works. Whatever your team is willing to pay into a tournament, what can you afford, and 100% back to the community. Nothing is going to be taken into our pockets, and we might even be able to hit up some sponsors. Now, if we can get some sponsors into it, to get them to put in like 150, 200, that all goes into the prize pool too. Everything we can get just goes into the pool, the bucket, the cash bucket, and we'll try to pay out as high as we can for as many teams as we can get. I think it's a good idea. I really do, and I'm looking forward to kind of pushing this idea along. And I just had something pop in my head, and I forgot it instantly. The old timers getting caught up to me. Some quick questions for you. Some people had asked where I've been, what I've been doing. Well, I started a new job last week. Been super busy getting prepped for it. For the last month, I've been in training, getting my courses all done and everything like that all put together. And been gonna be headed out to the oil fields and working on some rigs and doing stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. Pays ridiculously good. So when I got the offer and when I got the buddy to kind of mention it to me, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go do that. So slowing down a little bit on YouTube, but I cannot thank OpTic enough. OpTic. These guys are the organization to be with and to work for, because no matter what, Hex and, OpTic Paul, the channel manager, these guys got your back. Anything you could imagine you need help with, content, everything you could think of, like, it's just phenomenal. Hex is there, and he's an awesome supporter of the community. So you guys definitely need to support the channel, OpTic Covenant here, where we're posting this amazing gameplay from Team OpTic. And you guys can, show your love with a thumbs up, a like, or a comment, or all three. You can throw it into your favorites if you like it that much. That's how we do things here. And yeah, that's kind of the whole basis of this commentary. I don't really do commentaries, to be honest, that much anymore. I feel like people really love the listen-ins. There's so much you can learn from the listen-ins, so that's what we tried to provide on a regular basis. But I still have those AM team breakdowns coming out. We started editing through them. It turned into a much bigger project than I had originally anticipated, so that's kind of the issue with the slow up there and the delay, and I apologize, but we turned into there was just some sponsor obligations that we were trying to work in, as well as just making sure that I had a player to work with, and scheduling that is really hard. Getting a hold of pro players is very difficult. These guys are nonstop playing or working on schoolwork or watching StarCraft Rambo, or Merc, he's making sexy time, partying like an animal up in college. And, got Big T hanging out with Samantha, and she's doing actually some really cool stuff. Big timers. girlfriend there. She's been live streaming. She's been putting out videos. So I definitely recommend you check out her stuff as well. She's a huge supporter of OpTic and everything that we do here as a community. So, big shout out to her as well. I'll link her channel down below. And that kind of wraps everything up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And once again, feedback 100% necessary. Quick overview. What is the minimum you're kind of looking for? Or let's say, what's the maximum that you'd be willing to pay in for a tournament that we can kind of give back to the gamers on? And leave that with a tweet at myself and at UMadGear, and we'll try to tally them all up. And if you don't have a Twitter, well, you're in the Stone Age, so you can leave a comment section down below. Anyways, my name's Holiday Doc. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'm out of here.